3 huge stories for you guys today. Colby Covington almost gets in a street fight, and we get to hear the story, which is incredible, how he describes how this happened and how he handled these guys, these gangsters rolling up. What's up, Colby? Is a fantastic story. Israel Adesanya, Alex Pereira go back and forth on Twitter, I believe, Twitter or Instagram. And I am going to make a prediction about that situation because it's either one thing or the other. One, very exciting. Very exciting. Okay? Either these two guys are going to be fighting at UFC 300 or something else. I'll tell you guys, I'll tell you all about it. Okay? I'll tell you all about it. And then the third story I wanted to talk about was John McCarthy made some comments about Dana's comments about PFL that I think opened a very interesting conversation about that. I'm going to talk about that in the back, right? So if you're just here for the sensational stuff, we'll go Colby street fight. Then we'll go Israel Adesanya Pereira. And then we'll talk about Dana and the PFL stuff and John McCarthy, what he said. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you don't mind subscribing to the channel, it's Christmas. I know a lot of you don't normally subscribe to channels, but if you could do it just this one time, it doesn't cost anything and it really helps the channel and I would appreciate it very much. Also, everybody, if you don't mind liking this video, I haven't been asking, and so likes, just if you don't mind. If you're a consistent viewer of mine, just click like. Helps the video, and then shoot a comment down there and tell me what you guys think of the video. All right, so also a quick shout to the sponsor of this video, Kratom. If you're a Kratom user, a daily user, they have $60 kilograms. It is what I use for my daily stuff, Kratom. It is the best source on the internet. It is as reliable as Amazon, gets here in 2 days. You guys will love it. Kratom.com. Check them out. All right, so we're going to start with the Colby Covington video. All right, so this is Colby Covington describing what happened when a crew of gangsters rolled up on him and they wanted a piece of Colby in the street. Let's do this, son, which is hilarious. Let me just say this one more time. Hilarious. We'll talk about it in a second though. But first, let's watch let's watch what Colby Covington says about it.
Like, I'll fuck you up. You ain't nothing. He was looking at me. He's like, let's size up right now. Let's do it. And I'm just like laughing. I was like, all right, man, I'm glad you believe in yourself, man. You should believe in yourself. That's awesome, dude. But, I'm thinking deep down. I didn't want to, like, egg him on and, like, what do I have to prove in the streets? Like, I fight for a lot of money, like a big paycheck, and what do I have to prove to this guy? I prove my worth in the UFC octagon, If you're so tough, why aren't you fighting in the UFC octagon against the best fighters in the world? I'm beating up people that have been training for 20, 30 years that their craft is to put someone else in the hospital, and I'm putting them in the hospital. I'm making them look like little kids, so I just have nothing to prove to those people. They can say whatever they want,
All right, so I wanted to stop there just because this honestly is one of my favorite topics to talk about, is like the utter delusion that people who have not actually fought live under. Okay, and I'm not talking, when I say like haven't actually fought, I'm not talking about like, you're in the club, some dude eyeballed your girl, somebody spilled a drink. What's up, man? You want to get it on? And then you guys fight. And then you talk about it. You're like, man, that dude, he rolled up. And I was like, listen, man, I was like, dude, I didn't even give him a chance to move. I put it on him. He went down. I was kneeing him in the face. He's out, dude. So one of my boys had to pull me off before, you know how I am, dude. I see red and things go down. It's like, oh, is that right? Okay, so that fight you just described, which is probably the highlight of your fighting career, what was the total amount of time that you were fighting? I mean, I don't know. Like I put the guy out really, really fast. Right. I know. But like in seconds, how much time did it take you to do that? I don't know. Probably like 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Yeah. Wow. That's like a world record. Not at all in a street fight because you punched him when he wasn't expecting it. But nonetheless, okay, do you guys understand what would happen to you against a professional UFC, a top 3 UFC contender who's fighting for the title? You have any idea what he would do to you? It's like, it's just so stupid. I can't. It is not dissimilar from it's actually identical to a person rolling up. Now, let's not get into the weeds about Colby Covington, his status versus Usain Bolt, but it is literally, actually, current state Usain Bolt. That's what this is like. It's like some guy who thinks of himself as fast, who never ran track, never really tested himself on any, rolls up on Usain Bolt in a club and is like, hey, why don't we go out back and race, son? Let's race for pink slips. He's like, car pink slips? Yeah, dog. You want a foot race with Usain Bolt? Yes. Okay. You know what I mean? All right. Because that guy has about as good a chance of beating Usain Bolt as any of these dumb shits in the street do of winning in a fight against Colby Covington or any other UFC fighter. Dude, the difference, okay, so, well, no, everybody's always got a puncher's chance. Okay, that's fair. Usain Bolt might break his leg while he's running. He could break his ankle. That can always happen also. Probably a very similar likelihood. Except when you lose to Usain Bolt, you laugh about, wow, I really overestimated how fast I was. You lose a fight to a UFC fighter that you started where they actually are gonna, not take it easy on you. You are going to be in a fucking coma, dude. Well, it just ends however they decide. They take it as far as they want to. You are not a factor in how this goes. That's reality. You're not a factor in how it's going to go. You're just some street fight guy. Now, listen, dude, like if there's someone who's not a pro but is trained extensively, you're still going to lose. Like you're definitely going to lose. But at the very least, if you've focused a lot of energy in one discipline, maybe you force them to kind of change the way they fight a little bit. Like you have a little bit of impact in how the thing goes. Street fight guy that's headbutted some people in the bar, you may as well like be an inanimate object, right? I'm like, oh, where am I going to put this? Like, should I put this in my pocket? Should I put it on the table? Should I just throw it across the room? How much impact does this have on where it goes? 0 is the answer. That's you in a fight against Colby Covington. 0. You have no impact whatsoever. None. He's just going to do whatever he wants with you. And then if he decides he wants to have sex with your unconscious body just to make it really humiliating, he will. Every time I say that, I'll get someone in the comments who's all, why are you always talking about like sex? I'm like, it's the most demasculating thing you could do. That's why. Like when I say, Hamzat would yada yada Ian Gary and then, put his dick in his unconscious mouth. It's like, well, right. Like what's the like, how could you possibly own a person more than like you knock them out and then it's like, and I'm doing this to your body. I'm not suggesting anyone do that. It's just, that's why the metaphor works. Speaking of which, really quick, I'm going to, obviously we have more to talk about here, but I just wanted to do something really quick. All right. So recently, as I've been talking about Ian Gary and his wife, people have been, I've been saying, I'm like, dude, she's a smoke, right? Like she's ridiculously hot. Okay. So people keep commenting back. They're like, bro, she's not that hot, dude. She's like, you're calling her a 10. She's like a 7. Like she's like a 7, bro. Okay. we're just going to do this real quick. I know I'm 5 years old, but like, if this is a 7, okay, that's a 7. What's your 10? Like, what does your 10 look like? I'm totally serious. Like, we're just going to derail the video just for a second. That's a 7. Okay. That's a 7 right there. That's okay. All right. Shut up, you guys. Okay. That's stupid. She's obviously, listen, 10 is strong for anybody, but like, give me a fucking break, dude. All right. So now I wanted to move over to Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira, because I think this could mean that they are going to fight at UFC 300, and I'll tell you exactly why. Okay, so I'm going to show you what he did, and then I want to connect back to some things that have been happening. I have a comment right there, and yeah, no one interacted with it. All right, let's watch this.
Israel Adesanya taunted Alex Pereira today on Instagram. The UFC posted Izzy's knockout of Alex. The caption reads, Adesanya gets his revenge. Stylebender is your third nominee for UFC Honors Fan Choice Knockout of the Year. Izzy left a comment. He wrote Poha. If you're not sure what that means, here's Gilbert Burns to explain it.
Poha. How many jiu-jitsu people, well, 100% of jiu-jitsu people are clear on that, at least when it's said, maybe not the exact meaning.
RRA, that's how you write porra, you know, and then it means, the means is crazy, it means come. That's what that means. But it's crazy because the mean that I do is kind of like I did it, you know, that's it, like I did it. And
yeah, like if you're in a jiu-jitsu tournament and you're fighting and like you're in a position, coach tells you to do XYZ, you sweep the guy exactly as they said. Boa, like, boa. I always thought they said boa. I didn't realize it was with a P. You learn things every single day because I've obviously never asked them, hey, what's that word exactly? Dude, that I've always actually, just as a kind of random side note, that like, so, like Mackenzie Dern, he's like, oh, Arizona Jiu-Jitsu is doing whatever. I wonder if she'll drop that, dude. Because that's like I'm sure she will. But that's a big dividing line. You can be, an American Jiu-Jitsu guy that's awesome. But I've never heard a white dude drop that. That's Brazilians say that. White dudes, that's like, I think you'd be a pretty huge poser. You're like, blah. I want to, though, because it sounds so fucking cool.
And it's a normal thing in Brazil. Like a lot of soccer players, when they make the goal and they score the goal, they boy.
Izzy also reposted the KO to his Instagram story. He wrote, KO of the year. I beat the UFC light heavyweight champion. At the bottom, he has a laughing, crying emoji. And that's going to wrap.
All right, so you got two things here, two options. Either Izzy is stone trolling, which is 50-50. Stone trolling. Just troll to troll, right? Just trying to bait people into talking shit, right? Or when Dana White says, I just had a super fight fall into my lap, maybe that's Izzy on the phone with him. Okay? Just maybe I just had a super fight fall into my lap. That's Izzy saying he'll fight at 205 for the belt against Alex Pereira. I'm going to be out. Like, obviously, when Izzy said that he was going to take a break, he's like, I'm going to be out till 2027. Oh, he's obviously not serious, okay? Like, that should have been a huge giveaway to everybody that he is taking a break for a little while, right? I'm just chilling, man. I'll be back in 2027. Okay, dude. All right. 2027. Guys, did anyone actually believe that? 2023, he's all, I'm just going to take 4 years off. Okay. So I knew he was going to come back at some point, like not 4 years from now. I think there is a high possibility that it's UFC 300. And I would be ecstatic about that, obviously, as I assume that everybody else would be. All right, so now let me move over to this John McCarthy thing, and I'll tell you exactly why I wanted to look at this too. So this is John McCarthy talking about the comments that Dana made about PFL, and I want to say something about what Dana's saying that is incredibly obvious to me that I hadn't really thought of until I watched this clip, and then it'll, it's like, I don't think there's going to be a lot of room to argue. Like, no, I haven't heard anyone else say this. But I'm going to say it, and I'm pretty sure that there's a fair amount of credibility to it.
John McCarthy believes Dana White is frustrated over the PFL purchasing Bellator. John says that Dana's recent comments regarding the situation were bullshit.
It's hilarious, but yeah, good for them. One organization that sells no tickets and nobody watches buys another organization that sells no tickets and nobody watches. Sounds like a winner to me, boy. Right? Woo! Go, guys.
Well, when he says it's hilarious, good for them. He doesn't. Okay. He's saying good for them, and inside he's going them.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay. There's no good for
them.
Second. Look at.
I mean, first of all, if you're going to say good for them, you don't start it off with calling them a shitty organization that sells no tickets. He's obviously saying fuck you.
Dana, I've said it too many times. He's an unbelievable promoter. And
best promoter ever.
Everything that he said, he knows when he says something, he knows where it goes, and he knows what he's saying. And when he sits there, he says one organization sells no tickets and nobody watches, buys another. he's right about the fact that right now PFL does not sell tickets, but they don't try to. That's not a big part of their thing. Their thing is about TV, and it's all about what they've told all of their investors.
Yeah.
So right.
True, but in fairness, Dana knows what it's going to. By the way, this is not my insight, but like Dana knows what it's going to take to build a successful business out of a combat sports organization. So I think it's, I don't know. I think it's totally fair for Dana to be like, they don't sell any tickets. They don't sell any pay-per-views. They're not going to be able to build a successful business, because Dana knows exactly what the financial metrics are of building a combat sports organization. Thus, he knows, all right, so you just paid Francis Ngannou $8 million per fight with a $4 million. You signed him to a $20 million deal, which was more than we were willing to pay, right? If you want to sign additional talent of that caliber, it's going to cost. So like, you've set the bar now. This is what you pay, because you're going to have to overpay to get them to not be UFC fighters. So there's only so many ways to make money from combat sports. If you're not selling pay-per-views and you're not selling tickets, you're not going to have a successful business, is Dana's point. So like, even, and I agree, like, so I'm not saying like John McCarthy's not wrong. He's saying it's about what they're showing investors, which is true, because they have taken in a bunch of investment money and they're like, look, we're going to get this network deal. We're going to get this, we're going to get that. And so they come back and they're all, look, we got this network deal. We signed these guys, whatever. But they're at a phase where they're expected to burn cash. Okay. That can't last forever. You have to, at some point, build a business that is self-sustaining and is generating revenue that is, supersedes the amount you're spending. So if Dana is like, who knows his business better than Dana? Anyway, continuing.
Right now, and look at, Dana wasn't there to know, but at one time the UFC was not about live events. They didn't give a how many people were there. It was all about pay-per-view. That's the way it came up. Butts in the seats, great. Well, whoever they are, that's fine.
But again, the UFC pre-Dana, they sold the company for $2 million because they were bankrupt. You know what I mean? So like, these are not inaccurate points that he's making, but to say that like the tickets don't matter, I mean, I don't know. I don't know of any organizations that have made a successful business out of combat sports absent ticket sales being part of it. You know what I mean?
We can sell tickets, but we don't even do anything for the experience of the people there. It's not like it is now. If you go to the shows now, and Dave will, can contest, he just went to the Austin show. It's a phenomenal presence while you're there. But he also, he sits there, he talks about Bellator and selling seats. Bellator sold out a lot of buildings. Bellator did sell seats. Now, the UFC all the time talks about, sold out. Dave, you were in Austin. Was it sold out?
Definitely wasn't sold out. No.
I don't know. Okay, let me just say this. So I commented on this video. Oh wait. Oh, sorry. I don't want to step on my point because I commented it. But I commented about this. I was at UFC Austin. I mean, I wasn't like, zooming in with my phone all over the sections, but it looked like a sellout to me. I've been to, in the last 2 years, I've gone to, I don't know, 12, 13 events. Well, I've gone to 12 UFC events in the last, because it's business. Like I host groups. So like I went to 12 events in the last 2 years. Like I know what a sellout crowd looks like. If that wasn't sold out, that's very, I mean, like there were people in every seat as far as I could tell. I don't know how he's saying it's definitely not sold out. I don't know where he's getting that from.
Okay, but they said it. They told everyone it's sold out. It's all bullshit. Okay, and it's fine. That's what Dana, that's his job, and his job is to put down anything that is not his. And did Don Davis and the PFL put a little bit of a wrench in what Dana would have liked to have done? Dana just signed Michael Venom Page. Why did he sign Michael Venom Page? Because everyone out of the PFL and Bellator sucks. Why did he sign him? Because he knows that Bellator's got great fighters. And if the PFL did not sign or did not buy Bellator, you don't think that his roster would have gotten bigger?
So, okay. Here's the deal with that, right? is nothing. I mean, listen, dude, nothing John McCarthy said is wrong, right? Like nothing that he said is wrong. And PFL may end up being very successful. The outcome of this lawsuit that UFC is dealing with is going to have a tremendous impact on their future. Okay, so that's and also the future of competing organizations. And when I say that they're paying XYZ for fighters, they have to overpay at this point. They have to. So I'm not throwing rocks at them. They don't have any choice. But when it comes to Dana and like and him kind of, I don't know, like, of course he's pissed. And here's my point about like this obvious insight that I haven't heard anyone else say. It's like, okay, yeah. So let's just say that he's 100% like just means like they don't sell seats, they don't sell pay-per-views, and he's completely non-threatened by them. Let's just say that he means that. Okay, well they still signed his heavyweight champion. Okay, he's lost one reigning champion, belt-holding champion to another organization, and it was Francis to PFL. So no matter what, he's for sure going to be fuck PFL, fuck Bellator. They stole his heavyweight champion. You know what I mean? Like, like they are going to be arch nemesis status no matter what, because business-wise, they stole his heavyweight champion. Do you know what I mean? Like, if PFL's not there talking to Francis about what they're going to do, what they're not going to do, whatever, he retains Francis probably. I mean, I know obviously Francis was going to do the Tyson Fury fight, so maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he would have gone and just done boxing, but the first deal that he signed was with PFL. So yeah, I just think that seems notable. Like, it's like if Dana sounds pissed when he talks about PFL, yeah, he's fucking pissed for sure. I mean, I would be at least. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for him, but he seems pissed, and I understand why. So anyway, that's what I got. I love you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Go watch Nogi Worlds. IBJJF Nogi Worlds, and root for Felipe Costa. That's my dude. And then tomorrow on UFC Fight Pass, watch Victor Hugo fight against Big Dan in Nogi. I'm sorry, like the E whatever rules, like the Ultimate Fight, or Fight Pass. I can't remember what they call the events. Whatever. Victor Hugo's fighting against Big Dan from New Wave, which is Gordon Ryan's outfit. He's one of his training partners. He's fucking enormous. And Victor Hugo, my professor, is also enormous. 4-time, 5, 6, I don't know, many times world champion. So it's going to be off the hook. And then watch the UFC and watch Anthony Smith smash Roundtree in a super stressful fight that I'm having an anxiety attack watching. And let's go Victor. Let's go Anthony. Let's go Felipe. I love you guys. Bye-bye.